Welcome to Wrestling Superstars. On today's program, we have Mr. USA himself, Bugsy McGraw. Also, we have the television champion, Baron von Raschke. Barbara, last week you said you had a Take 5 with a man that's quite some size.
Oh, yeah, I have. My Take 5 this week is with Andre the Giant, who is even larger than he seems. I mean, it's amazing how big the man is. Also, I'll be talking with El Gran Apollo, who's win, lose, or draw after his match. He's a new athlete from Cuba, Havana, Cuba, and he doesn't speak any English. So it's going to be very interesting speaking with him.
Well, I've seen this El Gran Apollo in action in Puerto Rico and also in southern part of Florida, and this man is a tremendous competitor. And I think in the future, this young man's going to take a lot of people by surprise. And as you can hear from the noise now, entering the arena here is Mr. USA himself, Bugsy McGraw.
What is it?
Bugsy, how are you today?
Well, I think it's just about the situation. How are we all doing? You understand? When I come out here and I have a few things to say, it's all right. You can smile, Barbara. It concerns all of us just because I happen to be a professional wrestler and have to walk into this ring, you understand? The reality of my world is right here in this ring. Your reality is what you do in your own life, in your home, and that's your job. You understand? But life has a lot of excitement to offer. My type of excitement comes from a hard-fought struggle. You understand? When I go into the ring and I have somebody pound on me like the assassins, you understand? Superfly, R.T. Tyler, these kind of people, they beat on your flesh. They beat on your head, you understand? And I got a lot of head to beat on because I'm losing my hair. But I don't care. They beat on your head, they start opening up your flesh, and you feel that the very substance of your soul drip down your face. It cascades onto your chest, and you're looking up at them, and you see the egotistical monster of their face with eyes full of greed, swooping in for the kill, going to devour their prey in a feeding frenzy, and you hear the dogs of doom howling, you understand? And you get twisted knots, your head becomes numb, and you feel like regurgitating the food you just got through eating earlier on that day, all in the name of nutrition. Well, there's only one thing left to do, you understand? And that's fight back, because you either fight back or you fall into oblivion. And you fall into oblivion, that's nowhere and that's nothing, you understand? Nothing. So you come up, and you may not even see the light at the tunnel yet, but you start fighting. You start fighting and you keep going to it until you find your way to a little bit of success, and you never stop. And that's just the way you got to face life at all times. Barbara, who does your hair? You, Gardner?
Words of wisdom from Bugsy McGraw. We'll be back after these messages with our first match in Gordon Soley.
This match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from the great state of Indiana, Mr. USA at 301 pounds, Bugsy McGraw. Bugsy McGraw. His opponent from the Republic of Korea at 239 pounds, Kim Sung. Bugsy McGraw in the ring and completely unpredictable. But has a lion heart, no question about that. And if you listen carefully, the man has a tremendously interesting philosophy on life, Jerry.
Bugsy McGraw's philosophy on life is live and let live. And Gordon, he does it to the fullest. This man is absolutely a great, great person inside, and we all love him.
Bugsy McGraw, unorthodox. Goes in, collar and elbow. Bulls, Kim Sung back into the ring ropes. Clean break, but he was set and ready. And Kim Sung obviously is somewhat bewildered by the approach and the mannerisms of this man, Bugsy McGraw, but very quickly goes to that side headlock.
Well, I can imagine the thoughts going through Kim Song's mind right now. First weekend of the USA, and all of a sudden he's up against Mr. USA himself. He's trying every move that he can. He's trying an arm bar, reverse set out, and Bugsy's dropping everything right on top of it. He's got to be confused at this moment.
Into a rear chin lock now by Bugsy McGraw. McGraw blocked earlier a hip lock takedown, and Kim Sung stayed well ahead of it. However, he moved into kept that side headlock and dropped to the canvas. But now he's found himself in a lot of trouble as Bugsy McGraw maintains that rear chin lock.
You know, not only is Bugsy McGraw a very intelligent man, but a lot of people, they never think about Bugsy McGraw's size or his strength. This man, he's a good 6'6" and close to 300 pounds, and he moves with lightning bolts in his pockets.
He does indeed.
It's an excellent move by Kim Sung here. If you see how he put the arm out, twisted the leg in, and was able to get away from Bugsy.
Bugsy closes in on him once again, however. Back to the rear chin lock. And so Bugsy McGraw apparently has decided to become a headhunter, if you will, in this particular match. He's been concentrating on the upper extremity and perhaps knowing full well the kind of beautiful bridge up by Sung back into those ropes once again. Now the referee will be calling for the break. Sung using a headbutt to the midsection, another one to the midsection on the break. A chop into the chest, another chop under the throat that time, and another one into the throat. And so this man from Korea beginning to power away, but now Bugsy McGraw taking the very best he had. Arm whips him into the turnbuckle, catches him once again. Snap mares him to the canvas, back to the rear chin lock.
Well, this young Korean man, he evidently has been studying up on the rules coming over here because in the break there, you have a count of 5. He was able to unload on Bugsy McGraw and got a few points in on there.
All right, McGraw keeping the pressure on him now, trying to overwhelm this man with the rear chin lock.
Well, Bugsy will hold him. Bugsy will hold him right there until he passes out or until he makes a move. And once McGraw latches on a hold, he don't like to let it go.
Back to the ropes once again, the referee calling for the break. And McGraw watching that one hand that got caught with the other. And McGraw dropped to the canvas by Kim Sung. Kim Sung drives the knee across the throat of Bugsy McGraw into a lateral press. Look at that far leg. And Bugsy McGraw talking about his reality being in the center of that ring. He's facing that reality now. A headbutt by Kim Sung, and Kim Sung catches him again.
Very unusual style as Kim Sung has from Korea. He wrestles down on his hands and knees a lot, does a lot of headbutting, as you see there to the midsection of Bugsy McGraw.
Most effective. Bugsy McGraw arm whips him off, catches him a high. Kim Sung almost back to his feet. Caught him again. Kim Sung has a flying drop kick. And McGraw McGraw backed out of the way that time. Kim Sung tried another flying drop kick. Bugsy McGraw using the elbow to the top of the skull. Uses it once again. Kim Sung is staggered now. Snap mare that takes it back to the canvas, and now Bugsy McGraw using the flat of the foot. And Bugsy McGraw now beginning to unload that heavy artillery.
Bugsy always goes to war once he steps in that ring. He forgets about anything else on his mind. He has one thing in his mind when he goes in, and that's to get the count on the man.
Back on his feet once again. Arm whips him off the ropes. Off the back of the elbow, coming off the ropes. Bugsy McGraw. Lashes down with that elbow across the chest of Kim Sung. Hooks the far leg. Take out of 3. Count of 3, it is all over. And so the victor at 301 pounds from Indiana, Bugsy McGraw. This match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Minnesota at 250 pounds, Bill Irwin. His opponent at 240 pounds from Cincinnati, Bill Strong. Bill Irwin out of Minnesota going up against an Ohioan, Bill Strong into the ropes. Quick break by the referee.
Irwin is a classic example of one of these young men, Gordon, who has been in the state of Florida before and was taking some beatings. And, he's come back. This is his first week back in the Sunshine State. He's come back. He's challenging anybody who wants to get in the ring and prove to all the people that he's learned something in his travels, to Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Texas, all over the Southwest and Midwest. We're going to see something. But like we mentioned before, this Strong, he is from a wrestling family in Ohio. They've tremendous amateur background. So this should be a dynamic match with both of these young men wanting a victory very bad. Bill Irwin seems to be taking the aggression part right now. He's going right out and attacking the arm, staying with a good arm bar at this time.
All right, Irwin, keep him tight. It was interesting, Jerry. I know many times when you've been in the ring, I'm sure you faced the same problem. Irwin gave him that open slap across the chest. That had to sting, but I have a hunch Irwin was just feeling his man out, finding out what he's made of, how quick that temper explodes, sort of a little bit of psychological warfare.
Well, that's true, Gordon, and I know there's one thing that I extremely dislike, and that's somebody slapping you across the chest or across the face or anything, and it'll wake you up, and it'll stir that old adrenaline, it'll make you start flowing, and whether it's just a test to fill the man out or whether the Strong just got the jump on him, it's a case, it just happened in the ring, and Irwin had a beautiful leg scissor, drop-down leg scissor, and come up into a reverse figure four.
Irwin keeping Strong on the canvas now, drives that knee, and those femoris muscles are now taking their punishment.
Well, this is a mark of Bill Irwin right now, you see, Gordon. He has learned a lot since he's been away and returned. He is concentrating on the basics of your support, on the legs, and if he keeps that up, he can have this match in control.
Strong on his feet and favoring that left leg slightly as he moved around.
I got a feeling this Strong, he's going to come back because he's wanting a victory real bad. If you get a victory on this nationwide TV championship wrestling and wrestling superstars, you're accomplishing quite a bit. Gives people across the country to see you and to gain victory. So it's very important for these young men to come in here and get the falls.
Bill Irwin keeping his man Bill Strong tied up. Strong, however, gets into the side headlock. Irwin got in a little bit too low, and Strong very quickly seized that opportunity, now into a rear chin lock. So Irwin got in just a little bit too deep, and Strong turned that to his own advantage. Now in behind his man. Irwin's going to be hard-pressed to break from this now. Reaching back, trying to... Well, he took a shortcut there to get a snap there, and then very quickly drove a knee into Strong. Back to the side headlock.
Irwin's kind of a quiet guy, kind of unpredictable type character. So at this point, Gordon, I don't know where this man's coming from. He'll go in there and he seems like he's really wrestling you. Then, just as we saw, he took a little shortcut, went to that hair, and dropped that knee right on Strong's chin.
Wrist lock, and it was Irwin gaining the advantage that time with a takedown on Strong.
Irwin definitely has the advantage right now, if you're going for points, but in professional wrestling, Gordon, we just don't go for points. All that counts is that hearing that 1, 2, 3 of the other man's shoulder on the mat, and that's the most important thing. You can keep a man on his back all day long. Unless you get a full 3 count, it means absolutely nothing.
Irwin now punishing the left arm of Bill Strong, and Irwin again imprisons that arm. And I've watched the man wrestle before, but there's a mannerism that is reflective of of someone else, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Really can't get a handle on it at this point. Strong catches him in the midsection. Catches him again. Strong now with that side headlock. And so Irwin caught on those ropes, and Strong beginning to fight fire with fire. Keeping that side headlock.
Gilbert favors Buddy Wolf a lot, Gordon. He has some of his actions and some of his mannerisms. He has definitely improved since he returned to the Sunshine State.
Irwin tried to set him for a slam, but he was strong. Controlling the head, and of course you control the head, you're going to control the rest of the body. Irwin had no choice when Strong took him down to the canvas, keeping the side headlock. Irwin has caught him with a forearm on the break. Catches him with another forearm, and that one caught him right in the ear. Again, Irwin lashes out with a foot to the midsection. Irwin using that flat of the foot very effectively.
Irwin has really opened up, Gordon. He's becoming very impressive at this point. He's showing no mercy whatsoever towards the dog. The ideal of the match is to pin the guy, and he's just torturing him right now.
Up a full body slam. Irwin coming off, crashes down with that knee right into the chest. That did not allow the pin.
That should have been it right there, Gordon. He had the hand.
Caught him coming off the ropes. Brings him up. Shoulder breaker. Now to 3, and he used that shoulder breaker very, very effectively. And again, I'll put a handle on it by next week. I'll have a handle on it. I'll watch some more films of this man. But he is there's something very, very reminiscent about him. But nonetheless, there's your winner, Big Bill Irwin. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. From Havana, Cuba, making his first appearance here on Wrestling Superstars at 235 pounds, El Gran Apollo. His opponent from Florida at 220 pounds, Ted Marshall. One fall with a 10-minute time limit, and as you heard Barbara say at the beginning of the program, of course, win, lose, or draw, she's going to interview El Gran Apollo, and I understand that he does not speak English well.
Well, I think he can say yes and no, but that's about it, Gordon. He really doesn't speak English.
I trust when you interview, you will translate to us.
Yeah, I hope to.
Okay, fair enough. El Gran Apollo is certainly an impressive-looking athlete, Jerry.
Well, Gordon, I was able to talk to this young man before we started taping the program today. And, as we said, he doesn't speak any English, but his personality is such that, it's that international language that you can sit and, sort of communicate with him in a little bit of broken English. And he's really excited about being here. And this young man, I think he's going to set the state on fire.
Back into those ring ropes now. Marshall pressing the advantage here. The referee calls for the break, and Apollo, watching him very carefully, had those arms crossed in a defensive posture, so he's extremely alert. Collar and elbow, good. Duck under, Gobi time. Beautiful takedown.
Very clean-cut young man. Looks like he stays in tremendous condition. He does have some background in the amateur ranks. And as you just saw, he went behind the guy and took him right down, Marshall. And he's clean on the break, and he's watching his opponent. He's going to be a superstar.
Moves very quickly into a top wrist lock now on Ted Marshall. Apollo in the black. Beautiful back leg trip. Takes Marshall back to the canvas.
The young man's got to be a little nervous at this time, Gordon, being on wrestling. But he's not showing any nerves at all right now. He's just all action.
Been a dominant factor thus far in the match. Excellent muscular definition and confirmation.
Well, Teddy Marshall's going to give him everything that he wants, and plus a little bit more.
Which the process is doing right there, a full slam, but Lothario hung on tenaciously, and Apollo, my apologies. I am so used to seeing Lothario do that very thing, and it's...
Well, you're absolutely right, Gordon. There is a semblance, and Lothario was one of the greatest Latin stars that there ever was, and if Apollo can just come close to that man, he's got himself quite a career.
Once again, collar and elbow, and it's Teddy Marshall bringing in to Apollo at that point, pulling him back to the ropes. Caught him before the break, catches him again with another forearm, and another one. And Apollo having his problems now as Teddy Marshall using those forearms. Apollo reverses the situation on him, however.
Well, you can tell right now.
Beautiful. Pardon me, Gerald, but beautiful restraint. Did you notice that? You could almost see the wheels clicking in his mind.
Right, that was the point I was getting at. You could see Apollo. He was back, going to give his man a chance. He was a perfect jump.
Marshall powering out before the count of three, but Apollo now brings him up. Beautiful vertical back to the canvas. And again, Teddy Marshall, proving to be double tough, comes out of it. Apollo using the back of the elbow very effectively, the top of the head of Teddy Marshall. Marshall up against those ropes, and he's got to have some bells ringing right now. And Apollo again, giving him time. Truly a gentleman wrestler.
This is something that Gran Apollo's going to probably slack off of doing once he gets up there and get some competition from the likes of Baron von Raschke or
He exploded. He flat exploded on Ted Marshall coming off of those ropes. Caught him alongside the jaw, all but tore his head off, scored a quick one. Marshall not able to get to his feet yet, and, Barbara Clary is moving over to ringside to interview this, I got to call him a gentleman wrestler.
Bienvenidos a los Estados Unidos y a Florida.
Muchas gracias. Me siento muy contento y muy orgulloso de estar aquí en la Florida, porque hay muy buenos luchadores aquí y he venido a probarme, porque aquí está la meca de la lucha libre y me siento muy orgulloso de estar aquí y quiero que todos los cubanos que estén aquí en la Florida me apoyen, porque ese apoyo que ustedes me van a dar yo lo voy a necesitar.
He's very proud to be in the United States, to be especially in Florida, because there are so many Cubans in Florida, and there seems to be such a rapport that he feels that he can get the support that he needs in Florida. ¿Cuándo empezaste a luchar?
Empecé a luchar desde muy pequeñito en Cuba, lucha olímpica, y primero practiqué el judo y después practiqué la lucha olímpica, y esta es una dura carrera, la cual yo he querido seguir porque la llevo en mi corazón, y la llevo en mi corazón porque es algo que he hecho desde pequeño y algo que me inculqué en mi mente para seguir adelante, y espero morir en ella. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Well, he's been wrestling since he was a young person. He says that he carries wrestling in his heart and he hopes to die still being a wrestler. It's somebody that we'll be looking forward to seeing a lot from El Gran Apollo.
Will be one fall with a 10-minute time limit, weighing 222 pounds, from Atlanta, Mike Davis. His opponent from Germany, the Florida television champion at 271 pounds, Baron von Raschke. He is accompanied at ringside by Lord Alfred Hayes. Interestingly enough, Jerry, Lord Alfred Hayes has made no response whatsoever to Mike Graham's $10,000 challenge. So,
anybody that would run from a $10,000 challenge match, Gordon, to me is a little strange. I know $10,000 means an awful lot nowadays.
It does indeed. Baron von Raschke using a knee to the midsection. Lord Alfred Hayes is coming over. The beautiful crossbody block by you, Mike.
Might be an upset there.
Whoa. Rolling reverse. Yes, Lord Hayes.
Common Mike Graham has been again offering sums of money. He thinks vast sums of money from a how stupid company is. It could be $20,000. I should never get into the ring with him.
Translated into pounds right now, he's offering you what, roughly 2,000, 2,200 pounds?
No, it would be a slight more. I would imagine about 4,000 pounds. What can you get for 4,000 pounds? Certainly not the front radiator of a Rolls Royce.
So you're not going to answer the challenge?
Certainly not. I dismiss it out of hand. Now, there is one other thing, Mr. Soley. A souffle is a delicious piece of French pastry that is cooked by a culinary expert. A souffle is a typical wrestling maneuver which is performed by a wrestling expert. There is a difference.
Yes, well, of course, you're exactly right. I didn't care to get into the gastronomics with you today. But you'll note that the word souffle is also pronounced souffle. Not play, but play.
It's obvious, Gordon, he hasn't studied any Greco-Roman wrestling. Once Mike Graham works the souffle on him, it'd be like closing the oven door. It'll just be flattened out.
Souffle, suplex, or souffle. I shall cook him. One way or the other.
Indeed. The comments of Lord Alfred Hayes, who says he's going
Look at that wonderful, sinister, macabre machine of human destruction. That, of course, is Baron von Raschke. I love his dedication to evil.
He's getting some in kind here by Mike Davis right now. Davis, hard right hands, a good high knee lift into the midsection of Baron von Raschke. Has him doubled over. Davis catches him again, drops him to the canvas.
Now then, let me hear you commentate about that, my dear Mr. Soley.
It looks suspiciously like a fist in the midsection, and that certainly appeared to be a fist.
Well, you do tend to be biased in your observations. It's a wonderful tactical maneuver.
Mike Davis hurtled out of the ring by Baron von Raschke, and it is Davis coming back rather slowly. Came down on that left hip. This could be creating some problems for him.
It does seem like Alfie Hayes has taught the German how to be a little more vicious than he was previously, because the man had some great wrestling moves, and Hayes seems like he's taking them away from him.
Baron von Raschke now with it's a rear face lock, technically, not even a chin lock at that point, and Davis doubles into the midsection. Belly to back souffle.
And here's German is showing just how destructive he can be, whatever tactics he employs. I do admire him.
He is sliding into a wrestling hole at that time. He barred the arm, straightened it out. He's got him at an arm row at this time, Gordon. You see he's got both arms flat. Mike Davis's face is flat on the mat.
Underhooking now, bringing those shoulders back over. As the count of three.
He is irresistible and immovable.
Well, there's your victor, the Florida
Hold on,
Television
Wolfgang.
Baron von Raschke.
Das ist sehr gut, meine junge Kollegen.
This match, one fall with television time remaining. In the far corner, in the blue trunks, from Scotland at 214 pounds, Scott McGee. His opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, 215 pounds, Gerald Finley. One fall, television time remaining, and two speedsters in the ring now. Both men exceptionally fast, Jerry.
Did you see that double leg that Gerald Finley just tried for? The only problem, he's just a little bit too far out, and he didn't quite get in that distance that he needed with Scott McGee. Just like Scott McGee did there, Gordon, you got to be within an arm's distance of a man when you shoot a takedown. If you're not, it's going to be too far extended, just as Finley was on the first one. But young McGee, he had that arm's distance. He was able to get in tight on a double leg and pull his man to the mat.
Finley in a precarious position momentarily, but both men back on their feet with it fast. Good arm drag takedown by Scott McGee.
These are two young junior heavyweights that the world champion Les Thornton's going to have to keep his eye on in the future, because both of these men are going to be coming after his championship.
McGee back on his feet once again, circling, moves in.
This one, I'd hate to try to pick a winner in this match, because it's evenly matched as you can get. These two young men are about the same size, about the same speed. I believe Scott McGee might just have a little bit more experience on him, but the size of Gerald Finley's heart's going to more make up for that.
There's no question about this. I think McGee would have the edge from the standpoint of international competition, having been the British national amateur champion. And keeping that side headlock now. But, Barbara, I understand that you're going to interview the winner of this match when it's over. Is that right?
Speaking of international, Gordon, wrestling superstars, we had a young man from Korea on today. We've had Gran Apollo, a really impressive showing from Cuba. Now we have Scott McGee from Scotland, so it's become truly an international program.
There's no question about that. Baron von Raschke from Germany as well, our Florida television champion McGee. Keeping a ride now, underhooks that arm of Gerald Finley, brings Finley back over, trying to bring that other shoulder down, but the referee checking that shoulder is still up.
Now Scott is reaching back in the crotch to try to pull his trunk up so he can get the shoulder square to the mat.
Not able to yet, and so it is Finley. Now Finley in trouble, but he bridges up very quickly, back to his feet, broke the hold.
Lightning quick to their feet, Gordon, both of these men.
Side headlock now by Gerald Finley. Scott McGee brings him up. Belly to back to play, and it is Finley in trouble here now as Scott McGee trying to take the edge. A deep double underhook.
Joey Funk Jr.'s famous hold right there.
Amazed me as if he was able to take that kind of punishment and comes back for more, and again. Scott McGee, well, no, sir. Finley retaliating now with a full body slam and a lateral press.
How would you call this match right now, Gordon?
I was about to say that Scott McGee was taking a slight edge, but Finley's coming right back after him, and it would be a doggone difficult one to score if he had to score.
Like we said earlier, you don't win your matches on points in professional wrestling now. You have to pin the man. You have to pin them as submitted. And both of these men are going after it all the way. The time is rolling.
Collar and elbow once again. It was a good forward leg pickup now by Finley. Had a chance for a not drive there, but tries to go for the pinning combination. Scott McGee broke it up. And McGee favoring the back of his head momentarily. Time continues to move here. McGee duck under, go behind. Finley.
The pace of this match has just been tremendous.
And still, neither man able to really gain an advantage over the other. Both men countering beautifully. Belly to belly and back to the canvas once again, and the seconds continue to tick away. Scott McGee and Gerald Finley in an outstanding match, and our time is rapidly running out. Speaking on behalf of Barbara Clary and Jerry Briscoe, Gordon Soley saying so long.